Okay. So as I told you, you will definitely get one question of graph in your third term paper. So let's start discussion of this question. Right. First question: an incomplete values of table prepared to draw the graph of function y equals x squared minus 5 is given below. Right. So here the x values, x equals -2, -3 to +3, the range is given, and the corresponding values of y's are given, but except for 0. So in the first question, find the value of y when x equals 0. So how do we find that? Now we have this function, the equation, right? So the function y equals x squared minus 5. So now, for example, I will do this and show you. Like, for example, let's say x equals -2. So if x equals -2, you want to find the corresponding value of y. Then what you have to do is you have to substitute that x equals -2. So here for x, you have to put -2 and square it and -5. Then if we simplify this, we get the value of y. So -2 squared. So -2 squared. Now, for example, 2 squared is, 2 into 2. Or 2 to the power 3 is 2 into 2 into 2. Right? So here -2 squared, then you have to, -2 squared is actually -2 into -2. So you can see minus and minus plus, 2 into 2 is 4. Therefore, -2 squared is 4 minus 5. If you simplify this, therefore it will be, so here the signs are difference. So therefore you have to take the difference. 5 minus 4 is 1, and put the sign of the bigger number minus. So 4 minus 5 is -1. So you can see when x equals -2, the corresponding y value is -1, right? So that one we can obtain by substituting in the formula given function. Likewise, now you have to find uh, the value of y when x equals 0. Therefore, what you have to do, you can substitute x equals 0 in the above function. So the function is y equals x squared minus 5. So therefore, here you have to put x equals 0. Therefore, y equals 0 squared minus 5. So what is 0 squared? 0 squared is 0 and minus 5. Yes. So 0 minus 5 will be -5. Therefore, the value is here is -5. So for the question number 1, this is the answer. So y equals -5. Do you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, understood.
Okay, good. Roman number 2. Using the scale of 10 small divisions as 1 unit along the x-axis and along the y-axis, draw the graph of the above function on a graph paper. Okay, so we had to draw the graph. So in order to draw the graph, first let me draw, right? Note down these values here. So here x, y. So when x equals -3, when x equals -3, y equals 4. When x equals -2, y equals -1. When x equals -1, y equals -4. When x equals 0, y equals -5. 1, 2, 3. The corresponding values -4, -1, +4. Okay. Okay. So let's draw the graph. So I have to take first I want to consider the range. So you can see that x is ranging from -3 to plus 3. The range of x is minus 3 to plus 3. Minus 3 to plus 3. And the corresponding, the range of y is plus 4 to minus 5. So the maximum value is 4 and the minimum value of y is minus 5. So then now with considering this, I can start to draw the graph. So here I can consider something like from here I can take the x-axis. So here the x-axis. I take like that, okay. And then y-axis from the middle. So here 0, x, now y. And let's mark the values. So x varies from minus 3 to plus 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. It's minus 4. And here we can mark the y values 1, 2, 3, 4, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Okay. So let's now mark the coordinates in the graph. So first, when x equals minus 3, y equals 4. When x equals minus 3, y equals 4. So this point. And when x equals minus 2, y equals minus 1. This point. When x equals minus 1, y equals minus 4. Minus 1, minus 4. This point. And when x equals 0, y equals minus 5. This one. And then 1 minus 4. And 2 minus 1. By the way, here this point is wrong. When x equals minus 2, y equals minus 1. Minus 1 is when x is here. Okay. And this is when x equals 2, y equals minus 1. And when x equals 3, y equals 4. When x equals 3, y equals 4. So we have marked the points and then we want to draw the best fit. Okay, so by the way, I'm using this writing pad. So that it's really difficult to even write, say hello. It's really difficult for me to write hello also. So I'll try my best on this. Please pray that I get the graph correctly. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So it's really difficult, I told you. Okay, something like this. Oh, I have a idea to draw this. Yes. Can't have. I'll try once more. Okay. It's not best, but it's not good actually. Anyway, you have to draw the graph. There are certain points when you are drawing the graph. So I'll explain you those things. Okay. So the first point is uh, this gaps. You have to take the equal gaps. Now, for example, here two boxes. So each two box you have to take 1 unit, right? So if you take this side, then this side also has to be in the same gap, right? So here you can see the it has I have considered two box to be 1 unit. So likewise, then the gap interval has to be constant throughout the axis. That's very important. Now, in some students make mistakes. They take, for example, they mark one here and then two here like that. So here it will be 1 unit and it will be here two boxes. So doing like this and not wrong. So these things they will check in the graph. Okay. So the points you have for marks is marking this axis. You have to mark this axis. Okay. For that also they give marks. If you don't write XY, you will lose marks. 1 marks is given for marking the axis. Okay. And then next you have to take the values correctly with equal gaps. They will check that thing second. And third, you have to consider draw the graph which is use like it has to use the entire graph paper. Now there might be some other examples where you have only values from like it will take the values from -2 to +9. In that case, you have to consider you can take each box is 1 unit, something like that. You have to consider, right? Anyway, I hope you all got a graph better than mine because for me it's totally difficult to draw using this tab. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to next question. Glad. Okay. Write the minimum value of the function. So the minimum value, now when you draw the graph, it is very clear for you that the minimum value is, you can see the minimum value is -5, right? So there, that is the minimum value. So you can write the minimum value is -5. Write the range of the values of x which the function is negative. So now you want to write the range of x which the function is negative. Okay. Now here, uh, I'll try to draw this one graph one last time better. I think this is worse. Okay, anyway. Uh, right. here in this graph, now you can see here these values of the function. Now this is the function values, y values of the graph, right? So if I write the function, so this is the function y equals x squared minus 5. If you put different values of x, you get different values of y, right? So in this range, what you can see, the values of y is positive in this range. Here the values of y is positive. Here also values of y is positive. Because in graph, the above x-axis is positive values. So you can see here x-axis is 0. So above 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 0.6, 0.71, 1.52, all these values up to plus infinity are positive. All these values are positive. Below 0 is negative. So you can see this graph has positive values in this range, right? So then the negative values are here. In this range, the negative values are there for the graph. So you want to draw, right, mark the corresponding the range of x. So that one you have to check using your graph, that you have drawn a graph. No? So from that graph, you want to see where this graph is intersecting the x-axis. Now let's say here the value is minus 2.1. This intersection point is minus 2.1. And here let's say it's plus 2.1, right? So that means the values of x between this. Now for example, if I take 1, x equals 1. If you take x equals 1, here the graph value is, you can see it's minus value, right? Here the value will be minus. The corresponding value is minus, right? Therefore, in this range, any x value gives y as minus value, right? So therefore, the range of x we can write as x is less than 2.1 and greater than minus 2.1. So this 2.1 is according to the my graph. Then if you have drawn this graph accurately, it could be something around 2.2 or maybe 2.1 also can be the correct answer, right? So you can check your graph. So then you have to check the range. What is the corresponding range at which the x has, y has minus values. So you can see in this graph here in this range, y has minus values. So the corresponding x range will be, the corresponding values of x will be in this region, in this gap, within that. So you have to write that like this. So x is less than 2.1 and x is greater than minus 2.1. So within this range, if you take any value, the value of y is minus. For example, if I choose this point, okay, if I choose this point, so that point is between minus 2.1 and plus 2.1, right? Between that range, no, right? So it's something like minus 1.5. So if I go minus, if I check minus 1.5, okay, so it's like y has a value of minus 2. So minus 2, the function is negative. So in this range, the function is negative. Okay. Do you all understand? Okay, I'll explain once again, but I'll use a different graph here. Okay, now for example, let's take this graph. Okay, so the graph of this is the graph of the function y equal x squared minus 2. Okay, so this graph is y equals x squared minus 2. Y equals x squared minus 2. So in this graph, if I ask you what is the minimum value, it is very clear. The minimum value is minus 2. Minus 2 is the minimum value. And since you can see the coefficient of x squared is plus, so it has a minimum, right? That's basic thing that you will learn in graphs, right? The coefficient of x squared is positive means the graph has minimum. The coefficient of x squared is minus means the graph has maximum. So in this one, we can see the x squared has a positive coefficient, which is plus 1. Therefore, the graph has a minimum value. And in this graph, the minimum value is minus 2. Now, the next question I'm asking, what is the range of x? What is the range of x? The function is negative. What is the range of x? The function is negative. So here we know above x-axis, above the x-axis, the values are positive. Above the x-axis, the values are positive. So here you can see this is 2 means here it will be 1. So here it will be 0.5. So all these values are positive values. 2, 3, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.9, 4, 4.1. All these values are positive values, right? But the values below the x-axis have negative. So here it is minus 2, here it could be minus 1, here it is minus 3, here this will be minus 1.5. All these values below the x-axis has negative, right? So remember the values above the x-axis is positive and below the x-axis is negative, right? So here above the x-axis, now here I have marked in red color is positive. If you choose for any point, all this point has a positive value. But here below the x-axis, it has a negative value. Below the x-axis, it has a negative value, right? So now they are not asking where it is positive or where it is negative. They are asking for which range of x the function is negative. Now this is the function. Function means this graph. This line is the graph. That is the function. Which values of x, in which range of x, the function is negative. So you can see from this point to this point, the function is inside the negative. Now, for example, negative you can think of like a water, and the above. Yeah. So I'm asking for which range of x the function is inside the water, right? So you can see from that is from this point to this point, right? So I can show you from here to here, from this point to this point. Within this range, the function is negative. So the corresponding range of x. So you want to write the corresponding range of x. So this point is, you can see it's something like, so here it is minus 1.5. So this point is something like minus 1.4, roughly. So we can take this as minus, because you can see each small box is 0.2 because it's the 5 squares here in this particular example. So therefore this will be minus 1.2 and this point is plus 1.2. Therefore we can say that y is negative. Y is negative in this range. X is less than 1.2 and then greater than minus 1.2. So within this range, the graph is negative. So you can see in this range, the graph is negative. So all these values has negative values, right? Here we can't take the equal condition because equal means when you consider it is equal to 1.2, when x equals 1.2, the y is 0. So 0 is not a negative number. It's neither positive. Therefore, we can't take the equal condition. So it has to be within the minus 1.2 and plus 1.2. Is it clear for everyone?
That is in New Year.
Okay. Okay, so same argument, same logic you can use to that question. Okay. So here write the range of values of x which the function is negative. So using the graph, you have to see from where to where the graph is negative. Okay. And Roman number 5, write the equation of the graph which is obtained when the above graph is shifted upward by 2 units, and write the coordinates of the vertex point of it. Okay. So when we shift up, what we have to do, we take this graph y equals x squared minus 5. If you want to shift up by 2 units, you have to add plus 2, right? If you want to shift up, the graph by 3 units, you have to add plus 3. If you want to shift down, then you have to minus, subtract. Now let's say if you want to shift down by 2 units, then minus 2, right? Now here it says you want to shift upwards by 2 units, therefore you have to add plus 2. So then the graph will be given as x squared minus 5 and plus 2 will be minus 3. Now you can see in that graph, the minimum value is minus 5, right? When you draw the graph, let me draw here. So the minimum value is minus 5. If you shift this graph, you take all this and move up 2 units. Then if you move 2 units, it will move to minus 4, minus 3. The minimum value comes here and the graph will be shifted upward by 2 units. You take the graph and move upward by 2 units. So therefore you have to add plus 2. Therefore the graph equation is given by this y equals x squared minus 3. Write the equation of the graph. So the equation is we can obtain as y equals x squared minus 5 plus 2. Therefore y equals x squared minus 3. So that is the equation. 2 units, and write the coordinates of the vertex point of it. So the vertex point is means the minimum point. So the minimum point is, then it will be, so in this graph, now since I moved upward by 2 units, the minimum point is minus 3. So the vertex point is x comma y coordinates. Usually we write the coordinates as x value comma y value. So the corresponding x value is 0, right? So 0 comma minus 3. The y value is minus 3. This is the vertex point. So it is 0 comma minus 3. The vertex point has different names, or they will ask turning points. What is the coordinates of turning points? So if they ask the coordinates of turning points, that is also the same. They are asking the same point. Okay. Or maybe they will ask what is the coordinate of minimum point, because in this vertex it's a minimum point. No? So they will ask what is the coordinates of the minimum point. So the minimum point, vertex point, or turning point, both all three has the same answers because all three have the same meaning. Okay. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? If you have any questions based on graph, you can ask. Yeah, we will send a recording. Okay, so the next question is based on formula and quadratic equations. Okay, so this one is formula lesson, and this is if the perimeter lesson, and this is quadratic equations. How to see the symmetry of axis. So axis of symmetry is usually the okay, let me explain you with this. Now if you take this graph, so it is symmetric both sides above this line, right? This is symmetric both sides above this line. In grade 10 syllabus, you will have always the symmetric axis of symmetry is y-axis. In grade 10 syllabus, the axis of symmetry is always the y-axis, this one. So if you got a question of asking what is the axis of symmetry, then this axis equation of this axis is x equals 0. So axis of symmetry equals to 0, right? The axis of symmetry means about which axis the graph is symmetric both sides. Now if I take myself, I am symmetric from my middle, right? So likewise, here in this graph, they are asking the middle point, midpoint. So symmetry point. So if you keep a mirror from here, you will say the mirror image of the other side. So this one's mirror image will be this. Or if you take this as the object, this will be the mirror. If you keep the mirror here. So that is the axis of symmetry. But if you keep the mirror here, somewhere like here, you won't get you won't get this side as the, like if you keep the mirror here, then this won't be the object and this won't be the image. They will not coincide. But if you keep the mirror here only, the image and the object will coincide. So this axis is known as axis of symmetry. In grade 10 syllabus, you always get this because you have only this form of graph. Y equals x squared, you have y equals ax squared plus b. So you have only this type of graph in grade 10. In grade 10, you always get axis of symmetry as x equals 0. But when you go to grade 11, then you will study the complete form of the graph y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So when you go to grade 11, since this term is there, the graph will shift to left or right depending on the b value. That will you will learn in grade 11. Okay. Okay, let's do this question. By the way, did you all had dinner?
No, sir.
Next time, please have the dinner before attending the class. keep your tummy fill, otherwise it will be difficult to concentrate. நீங்கள படிக்கல mind வந்து பசி பசி என்றும். Okay, good. Okay. I had. Thanks for asking. Yes, really. Okay, so anyone finished with the question, first question, Roman number 1? Raise your hand. Okay, good. You can try Roman number 2, 3 as well. Good. Okay, so question number 2, Roman number 1, make A as the subject of the formula. Okay, so so we have the formula is equals to n divided by 2 into A plus L. Now actually this formula that is from arithmetic progression lesson. You will study soon arithmetic progressions. So they are the sum of first n terms. The sum of first n terms is given by this formula. Here A is the first term. A is the first term and L is the last term. Last term. So in this expression we want to subject A. So A is our hero. So therefore we have to decode A. So let's try to subject A here. Okay. So now he is A. Now you want to read this formula starting from A. Okay. So you take A. For A you have to add plus L. You take A and add plus L. Right? After that you get a number. If you add L you get a number. That number should multiply by N and then divide by 2. So what is the last thing we did? 2. So therefore you have to take the 2 first to the other side of the equation. So the division 2 goes to other side as, someone tell me, the division 2 goes to the other side of the equation as?
Multiplication.
Division, multiplication, very good. So 2 into S equals to N times A plus L, right? So we took the 2 to the other side, right? And then now again you take this A at L and then multiply by N and then divide by 2, right? So before dividing by 2 you have multiplied by N, then you have to take this multiplication into the other side. So 2 into S is 2S, 2S divided by N equals to, so here then no longer anything to multiply. So if you take N from here, you can still consider as 1. 1 into this number will be the same number. So therefore, no need to put a bracket there. So no need to put a bracket there. So we can write as A plus L. So we want to subject A, right? So we can take this L to the other side. Therefore, A equals to, I'll take the L to that side. So, oops, I have written here, has to be 9N. n. So 2s divided by n plus L goes to L side as minus L is equals to A. Therefore, A equals to 2s over n minus L. So done and dusted. So A equals 2s divided by n minus L. Okay. How many of you got the same answer? Raise your hand. 2. Only 2? 3? I can see only 3 hands raised up. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, 4 hands. So out of 10 people, only 5. Okay, 5. What about other 5? Okay, 6. Right. So by the way, I got a question asking to make n as the subject here. Okay. So then I'll try to do n as the subject here. Okay. So here, if you want to n as a subject, first you want to decode it. So what it says, you take n, okay, and then divide by 2, and then you multiply this n with this number, a plus l number. You multiply with a plus l, then you will get s. So the last thing what you did is multiplying with a plus l. So you can take that to the other side. So s multiplication comes to this side as division. A plus l equals to n over 2. And then the division 2 goes to the other side as multiplication. So 2 into s over a plus l equals n. So 2s divided by a plus l equals n. Therefore, n equals to 2s over a plus l. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's do the next question. If the perimeter of the following triangle is 21 centimeter, find the length of the BC. Okay, so you want to find the length of BC. Okay, so perimeter, we know the total length around the given shape. So perimeter P equals to, so AB plus BC plus AC. So if the perimeter is 21 centimeter in the units of centimeter. AB equals to x. BC equals to 2x minus 1 plus AC equals to x plus 2. Right, now we have to simplify this and find the value of x. So 21 is equals to, I can take this plus 2 to the other side and minus 1 also to the other side. So the numbers I can take to this side. So 21 plus 2 comes to this side as minus 2. Minus 1 comes to this side as plus 1. Plus 1 equals to, now x plus 2x is equals to 3x and another x plus x. Okay, so 21 minus 2 is 19. 19 plus 1 is 20 equals to 4x. So then we want to find the value of x, therefore you have to subject for x. So if you take this multiplication 4 to the other side, it becomes division. 20 divided by 4 equals to x. Therefore, x equals 5 centimeter. So in this problem, the question is not to find x, but you have to find the length of the BC, right? So you have to find the length of the BC. Okay. So in exams, some students, what they do is, they'll go to the next question. They'll forget what is the question, right? So here we want to find the length of the BC. Therefore, BC is equals to 2 into x minus 1. So 2 into 5 minus 1. So therefore 2 into 5, 9. 9 minus 1 is 25 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9 centimeter. So therefore BC is 9 centimeter. Okay. If you got 9 centimeter, then your answer is correct. Okay. If you're still writing this, you can take a screenshot. Okay. And the next question. Solve the following quadratic equation. 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. So here what we had to do first, you had to multiply the first term and the last term. First you need to multiply the first term and the last term. So the first term is 2x squared and then this is minus 3. So plus into minus minus 2 into 3 is 6 x squared. And you need to factorize this so that the summation is equals to 5x. So here we can write, here it reads as bigger one is plus. So bigger one is plus. So minus 6x squared I can write as I can write as 2 into 3, right? Plus 2 into 3. So here bigger one is plus. So if I put plus here, if I put minus here, if we add these two, then we get plus 1. It is not plus 5. Therefore, we can't take that. Therefore, you have to go for another factor. So 6 we can write as 6 into 1. So bigger one is plus and then minus. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So that's correct. So you can see plus 6 and minus 1x, if you multiply, you get minus 6x squared. So plus into minus, minus 6 into 1, 6, x into x squared. So therefore, instead of 5x, I can write 6x minus 1x because 6x minus 1x is 5x. So I write that here, 2x squared plus 6x minus 1 into x is x minus 3 equals 0. So in this two term, this term and this term, 2x is common. So I can take 2x as I can put 2x as the common factor. So if I take 2x out from this one, so 2 is gone, 1x is gone, so remaining is x. So x will remain. Plus, if I take 2x from this term, if I take that is from this term, then remaining is 3. And then here minus x and minus 3. So the only the common is minus. So you take minus. you can write as minus or minus 1. So if I take minus 1 out from this bracket, it will be x plus 3. So you can see minus 1 into x, minus 1 into plus 3 is minus 3. You get that same result. So this is equal to 0. So in this term and in this term, x plus 3 is common. So I take that as the common factor. So if I take that out, so here remaining 2x, here remains minus 1 is equals to 0. So 2 product is multiplies to give 0. So therefore either this one has to be 0 or this one has to be 0 or both can be 0. Okay, I shall explain you that. Give me a second. So here then we can write x plus 3 equal to 0 or 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So if you take this to the other side, it becomes minus 3. Therefore, x equals minus 3 or x equals, so 2x is equals minus 1 goes to the side 1. So x equals 2 goes to that side and becomes division. So 1 over 2. So x equals minus 3 or x equals half. I hope it is clear to everyone. By the way, I explained this minus 6x squared we can factorize as we can write as 2 into 3, right? Because 6 is 2 into 3, and here the summation should be equals to 5 and we read as bigger one is plus. So bigger one is plus, therefore smaller one is minus. So if you add these two, plus 3 and minus 2 will be plus 1. To simplify this, plus 1, but we want plus 5. So we can't take minus 2 and plus 3 as factors of this because the summation should be equals to plus 5. Therefore, we have to take as 6 into 1. So 6 into 1, bigger one is plus, smaller one is minus. Therefore, plus 6 and minus 1 is plus 5. You get this. Do you understand now? Orange cho? Okay, good.
Understood, sir.
Good. Okay. You will definitely get a factorized quadratic equation in your third term paper. That is 100% sure. If not, someone will jump into the well. Not me, the teacher who has prepared your paper. I will push that teacher into a well if they didn't put this question. Okay. Next question. Okay, so this is based on inverse proportions. Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes. You can try these two questions. And second question is interest. Yeah, based on interest, simple interest. I feel cold today. Tadamal also coming. Because it was raining all day. I think for the rain was there for last 4 days, no? Lazy to go out actually during rainy time. Yeah, I did the last night when I'm. Okay, I'll start the explanation. It takes 8 men 5 days to harvest in the Mr. Siripala's paddy field. Do you know who is Siripala? He is one of a former president, right? Maithripala Siri. Sorry, that is Sirisena, no? Sorry, I confused. Okay. Okay. After working 4 days, the next day they did not return to work. Therefore, Mr. Siripala was complete the remaining task using a harvesting machine within 2 hours. If we harvested the entire paddy field using the above machine, find the time taken for it. Okay. So, uh, yeah, I write men, days, and the work. So, how many men? 8 men are needed. It takes 8 men, 5 days to harvest in the Mr. Siripala's paddy field. So 8 into 5 is 40. Therefore, work is 40. The units as men days. It's not necessary, but some writing. Or often write as man days also. Man days. Okay. It doesn't matter if you write men days or man days. They won't check the spelling or not unless you have done the workings properly. Okay, so here, so that is the task. 40 men days. After working 4 days, so how many days? 4 days. The next day, they did not return to work. So they didn't tell anything about the number of men worked. So we have to consider it as 8 men worked for 4 days. So if 8 men work for 4 days, the 32 of the work is done. Total work is 40. Out of that, 32 is done. So therefore, remaining work is 8. So 8 will be the balance work should be done. Therefore, Mr. Siripala was complete the remaining task. So this is the remaining task. Remaining task. Okay. The remaining task using a harvesting machine within 2 hours. If we harvested the entire paddy field using, okay. So the remaining 8 days of work he has done using a machine. So machine, using a machine. Okay. It took only 2 hours. So if it's only 2 hours, 2 hour we can write in days. Now, if it 24 hour, it is one day, right? 24 hour is one day, right? 24 hour is equivalent to one day. Then 12 hour is equal to half a day, 0.5 days. Then if you divide by another, divide this by, so you can divide both sides by 6, right? So 12 divided by 6 is 2 hour is equal to, so half is 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 6. So divide by 6, divide by 6. Therefore, you can take the reciprocal. So the division becomes multiplication. So divided by 6, it's equals to 1 over 2 into 1 over 6. So 1 over 12. So this is actually 1 over 12 days. So it took 12 days, and the machine could do the work of how many men, right? So this work is done by machine in uh, 2 hours. 2 hours is actually 1 over 12 days. So work is completed. So then we can find the machine is equal to how many men, right? We can find the machine is equivalent to how many men. So if you subject x here, so x equals, the division 12 goes to that side as multiplication, so that it will be 8 into 12. So x equals to 8 into 12 is 76, no, 96. So the one machine is equivalent to 96 men. So then we want to find, using the above machine, find the time taken for it to harvest the entire paddy field. So the entire paddy field is 40. So therefore we can write here 96 into the time we want to write is E should be equals to 40. So therefore T equals 40 divided by 96. Both can be divisible by uh, 4, right? So 40 divided by 4 is 10. 96 divided by 4 is 19. Not 19, wait. 40 into 24, right? Yeah, 24. So therefore 10 divided by 24, we can further divide by 2. 5 into 10, and 24 divided by 2 will be 12. So 5 over 12 days. So 5 over 12 days you want to convert into uh, hours, or you can keep like this the answer. If you want to convert into hours, then 5 over 12, 1 day is equal to 24 hours. So 12 divided by 24 will be 2. So it will take only 10 hours if you use that machine to harvest this field. Okay, do you all understand this? Aisha, did you understand? Okay, I'll explain this once more. So here first we take man into days is equals to the work. So the unit of work is man days. Man days. Remember, in your O-level paper, you will get one question from this inverse proportion. In your final O-level exam paper, you have first paper 25 questions. No? Out of that, one question you will get from this. So here, so 1 marks is there. So man, it takes 8 men into yeah, sure. Okay. And number of days is 5. So it will take 8 into 5, the work is 40. That means 40 man days. Right? After working 4 days, so working 4 days, so working 4 days of this 8 men. So how much the work they have completed? 8 into 4 is 32. Right? So the remaining work is 8. And then to do this remaining work, Mr. Sirpala has used a machine. Right? So that machine finished the works in 2 hours. So 2 hours is equivalent to 1 over 12 day. So because this days, not the unit is days. So hour I wrote in hours. Yeah, Aisha, sure, you can do it. So here, the x, let's say, this x is the machine is equivalent to how many men? Right? The x is here represented by, now x is the machine only do the work. So this machine can do work of how many men? So that's what we are calculating here. This machine could do the work of how many men is given by this x, because machine only do the work, remaining work. It finished the work in 2 hours. 2 hours is 1 over 12 days. So then if you subject for x, so x will be therefore 8 into 12, 8 into 12 man. So you will get in man, right? So therefore x equals 8 into 12 is 96. So that means this one machine is equal to 96 man working in this field, right? One machine is equivalent to 96 man working in this field. And then they are asking if he harvested the entire paddy field. Entire paddy field is 40 works. Okay. So using this machine. So a machine into days equal to the work. So the machine equal to 96 man. So 96 into the time, let's say t, the work is 40, the same work. How many day time, what is the time it will take to finish the same work? So therefore time will be 40 man days. You can see the 40 is in the units of man days. Man days. And then machine is equal to 96 man. You divide by 96. 96 man. So man and man cancel. The time will be 40 divided by 96, which is 10 divided by 24 days. So a day is equals to 24 hours. So we can write this 10 over 24 into 24 hour. So 24 and 24 cancel. Therefore time is 10 hours. So it will take 10 hours for this single machine to finish the entire task. Do you all understand? So you can see if 8 man works for 5 days only finish that task. But if the single machine can do the work of 8 men, which takes 5 days, it can finish the work in only 10 hours. Okay. Okay. Right, and then the next question. For harvesting, Mr. Siripala borrowed a loan of 40,000 at a monthly interest rate of 3% from a farming society. To get released from the loan, if he pays 7,200 as interest, find the time taken to settle the loan. Okay. For harvesting, Mr. Siripala borrowed a loan of 40,000 rupees. Monthly interest rate of 3%. It means for a month he has to pay 3% of the loan from a farming society. To get released from the loan, if he pays 7,200 as interest, find the time taken to settle the loan. Okay. So the borrowed loan is 40,000. Monthly interest rate 3%. To get released from the loan, if he pays 7,200 as interest, so total interest is 7,200 rupees. Find the time taken to settle the loan. That means you want to find the number of months. How many months it will take, right? Okay, so 40,000 at a monthly interest rate, borrowed a loan of 40,000 from a farming society. Okay, so first we can find what is the 3% of 40,000. So therefore, interest for a month, interest for a month is equals to, from 40,000, he has to pay only 3%, 3 out of 100. So these two zero, we can answer with this. So 400 into 3, 1,200. So for a month, he has to pay 1,200 rupees. So therefore, the total interest we can calculate, total interest is equals to interest for a month, interest for a month into number of months. Interest for a month into number of months. So here total interest is 7,200. Removed. Interest for a month, we just calculated, it is 1,200. 1,200 into number of months, let's say n. Okay, so here therefore n equals 7,200 divided by 1,200. Dishum. 72 divided by 12 is 6. So number of months is therefore 6. Is it clear? Samjhao? Okay. Okay, good. So you can find the interest for a month, and then total interest is interest for a month into number of months. From that you can find how many months, the time duration. Okay. 58% clear. Okay, I'll re-explain it. Okay. So first here you have to calculate the interest for a month. So the loan is 40% and the loan ku interest varum, right? So they want pay you take an interest from for 100,000 or 80,000. நீங்க எவ்வளவு loan எடுத்துக்கிறீங்களோ அவ்வளவுக்கு தான் interest வரும். So here the interest loan is 40,000. So the interest rate is 3% monthly. ஒரு மந்த்துக்கு 3% interest. So then we can calculate the interest for a month. So I can write interest for a month. ஒரு மந்த்துக்கு எவ்வளவு interest pay பண்ணணும். So the loan is 40,000. So out of that 3% you have to pay as monthly interest. So this and this cancel, and therefore 3 into 400 is 1,200 rupees. So that is the interest for month. ஒரு மாசத்துக்கு 1,200 interest pay பண்ணணும். Total interest how much? 7,200, right? Total 7,200. ஒரு மாசத்துக்கு 1,200 எத்தனை மாசம் பே பண்ணிக்கு interest 7,200 வருதுக்கு, right? So for a month it has to pay 1,200. Therefore how many month he has paid, so that the total interest will be 7,200. So this therefore 7,200 is equals to interest for a month into number of months. The total interest is equals to interest for a month into number of months. So therefore n equals 7,200 divided by 1,200. So zeros cancel. 72 divided by 12 is 6. Is that clear now? Okay, someone is asking, sir, from what are you writing on the board? So I'm writing using this writing pad. It's a pad, and then I have this. Can write on this. Where is the pen? Okay, sorry for scribbling. Did you understand now? I guess more than 90% you might understood now. Is it? Okay. Okay, good. And do one more question, I think. A distance time graph of a motion of two buses A and B which travel from Kurunegala to Anuradhapura on the same route is given below. So two buses A and B travel from Kurunegala to Anuradhapura, and their variation is given in this distance time graph. Problem number 1. After how much time does bus B depart from the departure time of bus A? Okay. So, yeah, so a distance time graph of the motion of two buses A and B travel from Kurunegala to Anuradhapura is given. Okay. So here the bus A travels total 100 kilometers, but bus B 40 kilometers. After how much time did bus B depart from departure time of bus A? Okay, so after how much time did bus B depart from the departure time of bus A? By the way, I'm quite a bit confused. Departure means starting time or finish time. Wait, hold on. I suddenly departure. I think it's starting time, no? No, departure. Action of leaving. Yes. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we can see after 10 seconds, the bus B departed, right? So bus B travels at time 0. After 10 seconds, only bus B has departed. Okay, so you can write, sorry, it's not seconds, minutes. So the answer has to be 10 minutes. After how many minutes did the bus B overtake the bus A? After how many minutes? Here you can see after 20 minutes, bus B has overtaken. So here you can see at this particular point, the distance traveled by the bus B is greater than, so here it is something like 30, but here it is something like 25. So therefore, after 20 minutes, okay. Find the speed of bus A in kilometer per hour. Bus A. So bus A is, you can see throughout the motion moving at a constant velocity. So that is 100. So you can find the gradient, right? Because in distance time graph, the speed is given by the gradient. Gradient of the distance time graph gives the speed of the object. So here, therefore, speed equals to the gradient 100 minus 0. The vertical height is 100 minus 0. 100 minus 0. I'm taking this point and this point. So 100 minus 0, here value is 150 minus 0. 150 minus 0. So this is in kilometers and this is in minute. So therefore this is equals to 100 kilometer divided by 150 minute. So usually we don't write speed as kilometer per minute. Either we write as meter per second or kilometer per hour. Therefore, 150 minutes you have to convert into hours. So we know 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 2 hour 120 minutes and half an hour is 30 minutes. So 150 minutes is 2 hour 120 minutes plus another 30 minutes, then 2.5 hours, 2.5 hour. 150 minutes is 2.5 hour. Those who watch movies on Netflix, on other stream, they will know how to convert minutes to hours. They know usually 120 minutes is 2 hours and all, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, right. Therefore, then we can write the speed as 100 divided by 2.5. So the units then kilometer per hour. So therefore, 100 divided by 2.5 will be how much? 100 divided by 2.5. 10 divided by 2.5 is 4. So therefore answer is 40. Therefore speed will be 40 kilometer per hour. So the speed is 40 kilometer per hour. sorry. So speed is 40 kilometer per hour. Okay, and the next question, Roman number 4. Due to the mechanical error, the bus B had to stop on the way. How much distance has the bus B traveled by that time? So that is easy, no? The distance traveled by the B is, we can see it is 40. So it is stops at 40. The distance is not changing, right? So 40 kilometers. How much distance has the bus B has traveled by that time? 40. After 1 hour, the bus B recovered its mechanical error and again started the journey. Then if the two buses A and B arrive at Andhra by the same moment, find out the uniform speed of the bus B which should travel after recovering the mechanical error. Okay. So you can see the buses stop here for 1 hour, 50 minutes and 140, 50, 110. So 110 minus 50 is 60. So exactly 1 hour it is repairing the mechanical error. And then after that it says A and B reaches the same time. That means the total distance traveled by the A and B has to be same. Therefore, the B will go, the speed of the B where is like this, or the curve will be like this. So you can see here that both A and B reaches 100 kilometer at the same moment. So now you want to find the speed that the B has to travel. So what you have to do is you have to draw this line and then find its gradient. So therefore you have to take this point and this point. So therefore the gradient is the speed. Speed is equals to, so the vertical height is 100 minus 40. 100 minus 40 units of kilometer, and the time is, here it is 150 minus, here the time is 110 minutes. So 100 minus 40 is 60 kilometer, divided by 150 minus 110 is 40 minutes. So 40 minutes you have to write in hours. Okay. So we know 1 hour or 60 minutes equals to 1 hour. So therefore 10 minutes equals to 1 over 6 hour, because you have to divide both sides by 6. Therefore 40 minutes, then I multiply this by 4, you get 40 and then 4. Therefore 40 minutes is equals to 40 minutes equals to 4 over 6 hour. 4 over 6 hours. So therefore it is 4 over 6 is, we can simplify, therefore it is 2 over 3 hours. Okay. Or we can simply write as 4 over 6 hours. I write as like that. So therefore speed is 60 kilometer divided by 4 over 6 hour. So we know when we take the reciprocal, division becomes multiplication. 60 kilometer, 6 over 4h, right? Yes, 4 over 6 hours. Okay. So then here we can divide 2 into 2, 2 into 3, 2 into 1, 2 into 2. So 20, sorry, 30. So 30 into 3, 90 kilometers per hour. So that's the speed that the bus B has to travel, 90 kilometer per hour. Okay. So obviously they are talking about two buses where they are from foreign country, because in Sri Lanka with our traffic we can't, bus cannot go with 90 kilometer per hour, right? Maximum 60 kilometers per hour. Okay. Do you all understand? Okay. So I think 5, 6. There are two questions from this paper. uh, from part A. We will discuss that in our upcoming class, next week class. Okay. So by the way, if you have any questions, you can ask. If you have any questions based on today's works, you can ask. Okay. Okay then. So, sorry. Please study well. Do more question papers. You can find out some third term papers from internet. You can find out. Also practice second term past papers also. Both second term and third term papers you can find out and practice. And if you find any difficulty, you can share it to me through WhatsApp, so that we can discuss that or that particular question in the next week class. Okay. Okay then. So we are good to go. And yeah. So I'll wind up the session. Good night. Take care. Fi amanillah.